Welcome back to Set Streets and Eats, guys. I'm Chris Bauer. I'm in Oaks, Pennsylvania today. I'm in front of the American Treasure Tour Museum. We're going to go in there and check it out. American Treasure Tour Museum is basically a giant collection of Americana. Think of it just, if you're a retailologist or just a fan of the different things in pop culture that America has produced over the last 120, 150 years. This place probably has an example of it. I'm really here to focus on fast food culture, animatronics, lots of other things like that. And this place has a ton of that, plus a lot more. So I'm excited to get in and tour it for my first time, and I hope you guys will join me. Let's go see it. Hey guys, if you guys like the shirt I'm wearing, then you need to check out 80stees.com. All the shirts I wear in my videos, I get from 80stees.com. And I'm proud that they are a sponsor of Set Streets and Eats. If you visit their website, you will get an overload of nostalgia that will bring back so many fun-filled memories from your childhood. If you were a kid or a teen in the 80s, you will find your childhood favorites, like Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater, the movies you grew up on, like Ghostbusters or Back to the Future, the games you used to play from Nintendo or Atari, and the bands you loved, like Iron Maiden or Def Leppard. Follow the link in the description below to find your favorite childhood memory on a tee. And thanks to 80stees.com for sponsoring this video. So it starts off in the music room. So all self-playing pianos and music machines. It's pretty cool. A lot of these are very old. This one behind me just started playing. This one was playing. Oh, that one's playing. This one actually plays a banjo. It heard me. And drums, as it does. Wow. It's like Bert from Mary Poppins, if he was a cabinet. It's like Bert from Mary Poppins if he was a servant at the Beast's castle from Beauty and the Beast. This one's two violins. That's pretty cool. This one's just a single banjo. Man, well, I'm pretty sure it's just on a motion sensor, but it's more fun to think that it can hear me. This one's got the single violin. That's pretty awesome. These big organs are huge. 1930. It's got an accordion at the top. Hopefully it does more things than just play the accordion, because that's awfully big for that. I got even more over here. All kinds of doll houses on the top. Check it out. There's a Ronald doll, I guess, mural against the back wall there. It's a bunch of clowns, so this makes sense. I see you, Ronald McDonald. You got Grimace in your pocket. Pure terror. Doll head. What do you guys want to bet these dolls come to life every night? Pretty sure it's like Toy Story in here, but way scarier. These all just start rocking back and forth and singing. Ooh, this is cool. It's like a village. It's quite more of like a city. A lot going on in here. Some pirates. R2. Mecha Godzilla. How'd you guys get in there? Oh, this is cool. Look at this. That's awesome. Check that out. It's like a diorama for sci-fi made back in like the 80s or early 90s. That is amazing. I definitely had him. I think he's from BSG. like the old BSG. And look at this, the Max Rebo Band. These are some cool dioramas. Check out this Hoth, like ice castle. Now that is awesome. Lando got frosted. Queen Amidala, that's weird. She snuck in there. Chewie's frosted back there. IG-88. That's pretty cool. I dig that. Doctor Who. Aliens. What? Dune. That's awesome. Batman. G.I. Joe. Oh, we got a Wizard of the Oz. Wizard of the Oz. What am I talking about? A Wizard of Oz. A couple of them. Those are pretty awesome. Actually, ooh, look at this Alice in Wonderland one. That's awesome. Mad Hatter. There's Alice. There's all the characters. Actually, there's a bunch of Wizard of the Oz ones. Stop calling it Wizard of the Oz. What is wrong with me? Wizard of Oz. Oh, look at the Melted Witch. He's from The Grinch. Same kind of hair, though. I get why they stuck him in there. He could pass. I'll let that one slide. Ooh, Lord of the Rings. Another Munchkin Land. That's cool. These are fun. You know what this aisle needs? More Raggedy Ann. Just a few more. Doesn't have quite enough. Raggedy Ann and Andy. It's hard to believe there's that many of those toys. Those toys have been around for so long. I'm sure they still make at least retro versions of Raggedy Ann and Andy. They have to. I mean, they've been around for like 100 years. I don't know when they started, but they've had to have been around for at least 50 or 60 years, I would think. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of them. Wow. A lot of them. So many dolls in here. Nightmare fuel. So I called and asked my first girl out on a phone exactly like this. I'm pretty sure it's the same shade. I wonder how long it would take to dial my old home number. But I won't be able to find out because it says, please don't touch, and I already did that. But if you think about it, so it was 810, so we go 8, and then go 1, 0, which would go all the way around. Then 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 3, 8. And I'd be able to call home. It would take like 10 to 12 seconds to call home from a payphone when I was a kid. And that seemed quick. Wow. Crazy. Hello, 90s. Oh, I had one of these, and I had one of these. Actually, this was cooler because this had the slim battery. The first ones, the battery was just as thick as the phone. And I thought that was super cool. That's right. Don't judge us. We didn't know any better. You don't even know what cool was back then. My first cell phone weighed at least 2 pounds. And it fit in my pocket, so that was the most awesome thing ever. You almost done? Because I need it. All right, fine. Just hog the phone. That's cool. Whatever. Jerk. I like all these phones. God, pay phones, they were everywhere. Ow, check that phone out. That's awesome. Keebler Elf phone. Love that phone. Kermit's the coolest. These are awesome. Eminem phone. Oh, I would have killed for that Spider-Man phone. these out. Opus. I definitely had that phone. Never opened it though. Thought it was going to be worth a fortune. I'm an idiot. I think every baby in the 80s and 70s had one of those phones. Oh, a Lego phone. That's pretty cool. Wow, that's awesome. A Slinky phone. That's awesome. Alvin! Very cool, very cool, very cool. T-Rex phone's badass. Tom and Jerry phone is awesome. A Starfish or Kissed Tuna phone? Really? Beetle Bailey, that's pretty cool. Wow. Strawberry shortcake. Goofy! Very cool, very cool. More old music machines. All these machines just to play music automatically for us. We're so inventive. Check that dollhouse out. Good Lord. That's huge. Wow. The Taj Mahal of dollhouses. Literally. That's pretty cool. Up at the front of the music room, they have a gift shop where you can explore your wares. Check this out. It's like a kind of like a man's garage, I guess. It's got a man cave in it. Got all of his fishing supplies and hunting and golf. Posters from the war. For some reason, lots of money stuffed in the desk. His boat. Lots of catches from the past. That's pretty cool. It's got a lot of detail in it. This is his, I guess, hunting cave. That's kind of cool little dioramas. Now we're in the gift shop. Lots of cool mugs. Bears. Books. And signs. Taco Tuesdays, always a good day. Elvis purses. Oh, I love these 3D puzzles. Those are cool. Die Hard. Love these old posters on the wall though. Zombies of the Stratosphere. Dick Tracy versus Phantom Empire. Easy come, easy go. Starring Elvis Presley. All these clocks for sale. A bunch of towels for sale. Tote bags. Things for the kiddies. Bendy astronauts and books. These are pretty cool. They have unique strips of, they've cut pieces of 35mm film from different movies like Blues Brothers, Forrest Gump, Grease. Those are really cool. That's pretty unique. I like that. Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's really cool. Couple little tiny cars. Vespa, before scooters, they had automobiles. I don't know if Vespa still makes automobiles. We'll see all this when the tram starts. Lots of cool stuff in here. Oh, this is cool. I got an old Disneyland map. What year is this one from? 1962. This is one of the early ones. But they used to give these out, or you could buy them at the park. I remember we got one when we went. My first time going was 1984, And we got a map. I think it may have even been on a placemat, come to think of it. But we had one, and I used to look at it all the time. These are really cool. And they're such a great snapshot of how it looked at that time because, as you know, it's always evolving. I love the floor to ceiling covering of different posters and everything. It's really cool. It's very pop culture. King Griffey Jr. Wheaties. I remember the honey frosted Wheaties. Those were actually tasty. I wonder if they still make those. I haven't had those in years. I bet they don't. Those are pretty awesome. Pictures of clowns. Little Coca-Cola car. Old cars and bears. Old Flintstone painting. Old car models. An old international truck. Really old international truck. 1917. Wow. Just some random historical figure mannequins and giant violins. All right. That's not Zoltar. There's no name for her. Old jukebox. Old puppet show. That's cool. And they've got a lot of old cars in here, and like really old cars. And then just surrounded by so many stuffed animals. So much plush. It's plush everywhere you look. Plush, 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 plush. Plushy, plushy, plush, plush, plush. It's an insane amount of plush, honestly. Y'all. Am I seeing what I'm seeing? The old balcony Chuck E. Cheese from Chuck E. Cheese Pizza Time Theater in his vest and bow tie and bowler hat right here. Just sitting here between two very old automobiles. One driven by Shrek, the other driven by a bear. Look at him. He's definitely seen some better days. He's a little dirty, but he's got his Chuck E. Cheese bowler hat on. Looks like he's got all of his innards inside him. I see a lot of mechanics through his eye sockets. And there he sits. Wow. There's old Chuck. Just sitting there. Taking the tram tour through the warehouse of toys and old signs.
All right,
and a gorilla.
Situated. Ready to go. Hope you enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, vampires and zombies, predators and dinners. Welcome to the American Treasure Tour's special Halloween edition Toy Box Tram Ride, where we will explore one anonymous man's private collection of amazing popular culture, with a special twist honoring our favorite holiday. Okay, one of our favorite holidays, but definitely our favorite holiday that happens in October. Love Halloween, and so we invite you to enjoy it with us, American Treasure Tour style. We do encourage you to take pictures, but only with your phones and cameras. Please do not take any of ours. And please don't touch any of our treasures. Some of them may bite you. One more thing, remain seated and keep all of your body parts inside the tram during the entire ride. We have enough bodies on display already, and we do not want to add yours to the tour. We begin on your right, past our classic 1956 Ford Thunderbird, where America's favorite superhero, Batman, is enjoying a picnic with a friend. Batman was created in 1939 by artist Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger. as a smart, skilled, and exceptionally wealthy man with no superpower, but with wit and an incorruptible sense of justice. On your left are animatronic characters originally created to be displayed in the windows of department stores. Credit for this wonderful form of marketing goes to Macy's. In 1883, their Christmas display drew crowds to their store and began a tradition that continued for decades. This was long before you could buy stuff on smartphones. In fact, it was only a few years after phones were invented. Back then, people actually had to leave their houses to spend their money, and animations were intended to draw people inside stores. Whether it was Christmas, Easter, Halloween, or just a nice day, animations were created to complement every season. You'll see more of these wonderful creations as we continue on our tram ride. Many of them. Next to our classic bumper cars is one of the more terrifying items in the collection, a Philadelphia Toboggan Company roller coaster car. Built before actual safety regulations existed, it has no seatbelt, no harness, and no padding.
No
it really
fear.
was a death-defying thrill ride.
Mickey.
Past that, you'll see Albert Einstein.
E is equal mc squared, in which energy is set equal to mass multiplied with the square of the velocity of light,
There we go.
showed that very small amount of mass may be converted into a very large amount of energy.
Like that robot.
We knew he was smart, but we're amazed at how big
look
his
who we got
head
here,
really
y'all.
is. On your right,
That is
we have a
definitely an
collection
animatronic
of
skeleton.
cute and cuddly apex predators.
He's got
hanging out with
hooves
some
for
of their
feet.
prey. Real polar bears can
More
weigh over
animatronic
1,500
buddies.
pounds and can easily kill
More
anyone
there.
who gets in their way, although they generally leave people alone in the wild. But one of the most aggressive and definitely one of the deadliest land mammals in the world is the hippopotamus. They kill more people in their native sub-Saharan Africa than leopards, lions, elephants, and rhinos combined. They may look cute and cuddly, but do not approach them in the wild. They are very territorial and can run up to 30 miles an hour, and are definitely not afraid of you. Maybe not so wild, but definitely dangerous is Calamity Jane. Quite literally a cowgirl. She may not have opposable thumbs, but she is wearing a gun. Antagonizing her would be utterly
She's staring
ridiculous.
right at us.
On your left is a Custer chair. Invented in 1916 by a man named Luzerne Custer of Dayton, Ohio. It is a motorized wheelchair that was designed in gasoline and electric-powered models. This is an example of the electric version. Great for outdoor or indoor use.
Only
Above the chair is a
$175.
photograph of Mr. Custer, the second man from the right. Next to him, in the black trench coat, is a friend, another Dayton man named Orville Wright, half of the famed Wright brothers. Back to your right, and behind the classic 1954 Chevy Corvette, is a
Hooters sign.
22-foot-long sign from Hooters Restaurant. Hooters was created in 1983 by 6 friends with absolutely no experience in the restaurant business who got tired of getting kicked out of bars for their bad behavior. So they opened Hooters, where they could hang out, drink, eat buffalo wings, and discuss their collective love of owls. Straight ahead, as Ed Sullivan used to say,
Oh, here we
is
go.
a really big shoe. The woman who could wear that shoe would have to be
That's
over
cool.
50 feet tall, so she would be able to look King Kong in the eye. And if you're asking why we have such a big shoe here at the Treasure Tour, we ask, why not?
Check out that KFC sign too.
One of the
Hamburger
scarier pieces
King.
in the collection is this strange-looking red contraption called a conference bike, or Kobe for short. 1 driver, 6 passengers. Carousel was ridden on American soil was in 1799 in Salem, Massachusetts. Brought to the States from England, it was poetically called Wooden Horse Circus Ride. Now, of course, carousels entertain people of all ages all across the country, not only in permanent structures, but also in roving carnivals. The carousels here likely traveled far and wide before coming to the Treasure Tour. One of the most famous early American producers of carousels was named Alan Herschel, who established his business in 1916 in North Tonawanda, New York, which was also the home of many factories where band organs and Nickelodeons were produced by companies including Wurlitzer. On your left is a terrifying sea serpent that protects 3 miniature circuses from the groping hands of curious visitors. The first circus is dominated by the Big Top, a relic of days gone by. The era of the Big Top ended in part because of a terrible accident that occurred in Hartford, Connecticut. It was July 6, 1944, when many dads were off fighting in World War II. Moms, looking for a fun diversion, took their kids to see the greatest show on earth, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. Nearly 7,000 people attended the circus that day when a fire erupted and rapidly spread across the oil-soaked canvas of the Big Top. Within 15 minutes, the tent was ashes and over 160 people had perished. Still, it wasn't until 11 years later that Ringling finally retired the Big Top and began performing inside arenas. Ahead is something that many of our visitors consider positively terrifying. A 10-foot tall clown head with glowing red eyes. Clowns are loved by many for the joy and laughter they inspire, but they are also feared, thanks to a few bad apples and some very effective scary movies. We hope everyone here are clown lovers,
giant Walkman, that's
because
awesome.
there are many, many more clowns to come. The hundreds of animatronics you see throughout the collection represent over a century of mechanical technology. Highlights include some of the Muppets from Sesame Street on your left.
I have a good mind to go home. If you had a good mind, you wouldn't be here in the first place.
And babies that advertise Sweetheart Soap on your right. Look around you for all sorts of delightful characters, but beware. Some people find the baby animations even scarier than the clowns. Wrapping around the animations on your right is a large spiral. That is the world's largest Slinky. The Slinky was invented by Richard James, an engineer who worked at the Philadelphia Navy Yard during World War II. In 1945, James and his wife Betty produced 400 Slinkies and convinced the Gimbel's department store to sell them for Christmas.
Avoid the
They
Noid.
completely sold out in only 90 minutes, and Slinky has remained in our culture ever since. Credit for Slinky's long-term success does not go to Richard, however. In 1960, he ran off to Bolivia with a religious cult and left behind Betty, their 6 kids, and many debts. Betty James not only raised her family alone, but she turned Slinky into a worldwide phenomenon, in no small part because of an iconic commercial with a most catchy jingle.
Who walks the stairs without a care and makes the happiest sound? Bounce up and down just like a clown. Everyone knows it's Slinky, the best of the trick to give or get, the favorite all over town. The hit of the day when you're ready to play, everyone knows it's Slinky, it's Slinky, it's Slinky, for fun is the best of the toy. It's Slinky, the favorite of girls and boys.
Did not realize Burger King also had one of those helium tank toppers just like McDonald's had. Looky there. There they are, folks. And then look up here. got another. Oh, we got several Ronalds back
where
there.
many of our clowns hang out in front of a beautiful Belgian-made Mortier band organ called the Emperor. Our clowns come in all different shapes and sizes, and they are all very friendly. In fact, we are quite proud that none of our visitors have ever complained that the clowns have ever actually hurt them. Even the visitors who are crying when they exit the tram don't complain. Around 1960, the Philadelphia-based Lit Brothers department store commissioned the building of the enchanted colonial village. They displayed it in their store on Market Street for Christmas every year, and it spread joy among their shoppers until Lit Brothers closed its doors in 1977.
Oh, that looks great from
After that,
showbiz.
the village moved numerous times before it arrived at the American Treasure Tour in 2017. It's forever home. 9 of the original 3/4 scale buildings are on display here, including a clock shop, a wake store, and a schoolhouse. But there are strange things afoot in the village. As we drive you through, look closely. You may see the cabinet with wandering eyes, a glowing globe, and people watching you from upstairs windows. Opposite the village is a collection of animatronics that include elves who never stop working, a snowman with glowing eyes, and perhaps the most disturbing of all, a reindeer with a bright red nose. Once the tram passes through Christmas, we arrive at Easterland, where perpetually smiling bunnies obsess over decorated eggs, ducks and geese survey the terrain, quacking happily, and giant peeps relax because they know they are safe from any little boys and girls who might want to eat them. On your left,
That Frosty's nightmare fuel over there. Is he following me? His eyes are following me.
find The Simpsons.
Terror.
No one loves Halloween more than The
Rudolph.
Simpsons, whose Treehouse of Horror Halloween episodes have been fan favorites since their introduction way back in 1990.
Easter.
On your right is a homemade
Ooh, Snow
papier-mâché
White.
display of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
I see you.
The first wide-release, full-length animated feature film was created by Walt Disney Productions in 1937 at great financial risk to the studio. Nobody thought it would sell, so Walt had to mortgage his house to fund it. His gamble paid off, and the movie was a massive critical and financial success for Disney. It inspired and continues to inspire many more animated movies. Including Pinocchio, released in 1940 to great critical reviews, but much less successful than its predecessor because World War II disrupted its release. On your right is a puppet show with Pinocchio dancing happily with his friends. In the far right corner of the puppet show is Jiminy Cricket, apparently a giant
80s
since he's the
costumes.
same size as Pinocchio
And some 90s.
arguably one of the scariest
The
puppets
Liberty
in our
Bell.
collection.
Oh, looky here. A crocodile with an arm hanging out.
What 2 nickels, 1 dime, a 10th part of $1. We've got the show and you've got the dime.
One of the legacies of the great American circus is the American Sideshow, also known as the Freak Show. As celebrated by its fans as it is reviled by its critics, the Sideshow draws in curious visitors willing to pay an extra admission fee to see strange performers do very odd things. Whether they swallowed swords, ate or walked on glass, or were born physically different, they haunted the dreams of many people back in the day. On your right, we have reproductions of authentic advertisements for the strange men, women, and animals who once populated the Sideshow. These paintings by Lancaster-based artist Joan Fay were commissioned by our owner to celebrate the Sideshow. Each canvas represents an authentic act, just at a reduced size. Original artwork could be up to 5 or 6 feet wide. Very few sideshows remain today, including the most famous Coney Island sideshow by the seashore in New York City. So, if you run across one, make sure to go inside. Who knows? You may feel quite at home and may never want to leave. But truth be told, she is only as real as Ronald McDonald and the Burger King. The biggest difference between her and them is that she was not created to help sell hamburgers. In fact, we're not really sure what she is trying to sell. Fast food has had a permanent place in American culture since the rise of McDonald's in the 1950s and its now famous competitors, including Burger King and KFC. With their yummy meals sold at relatively affordable prices, it's easy to understand why over 35% of all Americans eat fast food at least once per day. But with it comes one of the scariest side effects to harm nearly every person who enjoys these guilty pleasures: high cholesterol. Next, we continue past our collection of amazing trucks that date to the early 1900s to find some more old friends. Chuck E. Cheese and his pizza-loving pals Mr. Munch and Helen Penny. Let us not forget the Warblets standing behind them. Chuck E. Cheese has been serving pizza and fun since 1977. Developed by the co-creator of Atari video games, Nolan Bushnell, Chuck has seen many changes over the years, even officially turning from a rat into a mouse in 1993. Next to Chuck is the largest Gumby in the world. The Happy Green Giant was introduced in 1955 on the Howdy Doody Show and has stolen hearts ever since with his own series and a movie. A candid behind-the-scenes look at Gumby's life is available through 1980s reruns of Saturday Night Live, starring Eddie Murphy as the beloved character. He stands next to a giant teddy bear, watching for troublesome tram travelers. We encourage you to act normal and make no sudden moves as you pass him by. The Pep Boys, Manny, Mo, and Jack, are also watching. They opened their first garage in Philadelphia in 1921. Almost 70 years later, the bespectacled Manny, the guy with the glasses, gave up his nasty cigar habit. Now healthier, he's never stopped repairing cars and replacing tires.
Bennigan's.
This Robin's Egg Blue 1956 Cadillac Sedan DeVille evokes terrifying flashbacks for countless Americans over 16 years old. Imagine taking this car to your driver's test and having to use it to parallel park. At almost 400 feet long, give or take a few hundred feet, that is no easy chore. Next to the Cadillac, you will see a gorilla holding a banana and wearing sunglasses and a silly hat. We think it's funny. That's all. On your left are 4 busts, those of Thomas Edison, Abraham Lincoln, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Douglas Fairbanks. An inventor, a president, a first lady, and a silent film actor. All 4 were extremely successful in their professions of choice. One might say they were way ahead of the competition. The Statue of Liberty on your right is a reproduction. It is not the original Statue of Liberty. That one is located on an island near New York City. Erected in 1886, the statue was officially recognized as a lighthouse before it became a part of the National Park Service. In fact, it was the first lighthouse built in the United States with the then new technology of electricity. Its light could be seen 24 miles out to sea, to help guide ships and mermaids into
It's
New
like
York
that giant
Harbor.
skate at Roller Kingdom Arena.
Another example of a terrifying collection the American Treasure Tour proudly displays is located behind the little red fire truck. Scales. Revealing the weight of people,
Avoid the noid.
small and large, these artifacts of the past are sure to spoil anyone's good mood and perhaps inspire regrets over that fast food you ate for lunch. As we near the end of your tram ride, we do encourage you to continue your exploration of our collection of popular culture. Please enjoy the self-guided sections of the tour through both the toy box and the music room. We truly hope that you've enjoyed yourself and that your memories of us are not dominated by oversized clowns, giant green creatures, or disembodied heads that smile from a shelf. Please take any children and belongings that you brought with you and make your tram driver aware if you are missing any body parts that you had at the beginning of your tour.
That was very cool. So as they were saying, this is a private collection of one anonymous individual, so I don't know who it is, but somebody's private tour or private collection. They got a lot of really great pop culture stuff. Check this out. As you guys might know, VHSs are making a huge comeback for some reason. I don't know why, but they are worth money once again. So this deck's probably pretty pricey now. So if you've got like lots of boxes of VHSs, hang on to them. Start looking them up on eBay because they're starting to go for good money. And if you have a VCR, hang on to that because that thing's turning into gold. I've had a couple of those Pepsi R2 coolers over the years. These are cool though. Check that out. That robot makes popcorn. And that one's a cotton candy machine. That's awesome. Lots of more old cars. I like that every old car has a stuffed animal driving it. Check out these old Nickelodeons. You got the King Kong one, Charlie Chaplin, and Artist Pipe Dream. These are cool. This is like a pop culture paradise for pretty much all pop culture from the last century or more. Don't worry, kidding. This is like, it covers everything. It's pretty neat. And it pretty much touches on every subject. It's interesting to, if it is one person's collection, to have a collection where you literally collect every single thing. Like, as long as it's pop culture related, you collect it. That's very interesting. You also would have to be quite rich, because clearly there's no collectible too big or small. Pretty interesting. Cool that they've had, there was what, 2 Chuckies, and then a Munch and a Helen balcony stage bots, and 2 different Warblettes that looked like they had been retrofitted into some different, that had been past the time that they were at Chuck E. Cheese. But that was cool. They definitely had some of those, and I definitely saw some naked animatronics on the tour as well. I pointed them out. I'm not sure exactly what. One of them had hooves. So some kind of a horse or donkey animatronic at some point. But definitely animatronics nonetheless. There's Nathan's. Still never have eaten at the original Nathan's in Coney Island. I probably should have. Several times I've been in New York. Just never have gone down there. I'll bet this thing was $500 or $600 or more when it came out. Look how fancy it is. All the bells and whistles, they called it. Had an 8-track player and everything. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that tour of the American Treasure Tour Museum. It's an odd and eclectic museum, which is the ones I like. And it's just a cool collection. just a lot of different stuff, and boy, do they have a lot of animatronics. That did not disappoint. A few good guys have suggested going there over the last couple of years, and I'm glad I finally got the opportunity to do so. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks a lot. We'll see you at the next one, guys. Bye now.